Welcome back, everybody. We're playing Dragon Age today. Habita, habita, hoobita, habita. And we're recording. So let's take a look. We're going to Brecilian Forest next. Who do I take? Oh, I still have, I have Topsider's Honor. I'm still trying to spec to get the, put on the bow, specifically the Sorrows of Arlathan. I could pump my dex to get most of the way there. I'm almost there as it is, because I'm getting a +7 from all my bonuses. And I think I just need a 34, right? I don't have much in the way of levels yet. Let's see, I need, what do I need? I do need a 34. And then as far as my spell tree, do I have any magic that I need higher magic for? No. I don't. I've got, yeah, I don't even need to pump, right now pumping magic is just a bonus. So I don't need to do it anymore, except for just bonuses to spell power. So, at that point, I really only need to bump myself up to, if I get in +7, then I only need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. I have to use all my points. Yeah, so I could make a bump to Dex. All right, let's do that because I want to do a bow build. I'm pretty sure there's a respec item in the game, so I could do that if need be.
Yes.
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 All right, let's go, you three. For now. To the Brecilian outskirts. Finally on the last leg of this journey. I've looked over the LP schedule we have, and I'm considering, oh, hold on, let's let them do their thing.
Hold, outsider. You may be of my kind, but you are not Dalish. Why are you here?
Hello, let's see here. I have business with your leader. This is how you greet one of your own people. I have no idea the Dalish were here. I want to enter the camp. So if we do this, then if you recall, the Dalish choose to live nomadically like an indigenous member of society. Although they're not specifically indigenous to any particular land, there's a lot of lore we could cover that could talk about where the elves are from. It's generally agreed upon in most of the deep lore that the elves were here first, and then humans came, and then Qunari were the last to come to the continent of Thedas. And the dwarves were also just kind of around for a while, mostly underground. So there's a lot of that. But when she says one of the people, I'm elvish, but I'm not Dalish. They're going to go into it, but essentially anybody that's not a Dalish elf is not a true elf in their eyes because they've forsaken their heritage. So that's something to consider with the Dalish elves. They're very proud and nomadic people. I'm a Grey Warden, and I have business with your people, your leader specifically.
And what business is that?
Tell us the keeper, no one else. No, I'm a Grey Warden.
That is not a lie that many would attempt. I
It
will
is
bring
not.
you to the keeper then, and he can decide if your business is worthwhile.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I would like a bow build. Bow build? Bilbo Baggins?
I see we have guests. Who are
do
these
have guests.
strangers, Mithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders.
You know, I just realized, does he have a unique...
This one
outfit
claims to be a Grey
that we don't
Warden
have
and
access
wishes to speak with the clan.
I think we, yeah, I
Thought
think
it
so
best
too.
to leave the decision to you.
That was wise of you. Maseranus, Mithra. You may return to your...
Maseranus is the later
Manuvina,
correct
keeper.
pronunciation. Yeah, there's a lot of weird British English that they use for these words.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Zathrian, the keeper of this clan. Its guide and preserver of our ancient lore. And you are?
I'm Ren. It's nice to meet you. Yes, the Keeper means he is the Elder and one of the only magic users in the clan. There is a lot of lore on the Dalish elf and how they do things. Obviously, as someone who likes playing as an elf, I know a lot about the lore. Suffice to say that magic used to be in every single elf in the lore, but over time that became rarer. So now they carefully section off mages to different clans and tribes to make sure that each tribe/clan always has at least one, because they prefer their wise leader to always be magical to help preserve not only history and knowledge, but magical secrets. You can imagine that makes it very, very attractive for Templars to go after them as well, because they're apostates, essentially. I'm Ren. Nice to meet you.
If you came to bring news of the Blight in the south, it is not needed. I had
And yes, they have the
already sensed
tattoos,
its
very
corruption.
obviously, which
I
we'll go
would have
into
taken the clan
maybe in a little bit.
now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not.
Yes, it seems like you've had your own troubles. What are the odds?
I imagine
a lot of
you are
that going
here
around.
regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made.
I mean, you're
This
one
will require
tribe.
some explanation. Please.
It's like going to New York and being like, all of America do this. Actually, it's not even like that. Oh my god, you guys are all bloody messes.
The clan came to the Brecilian forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the
Oh,
forest.
this is not your clan if you start as a Dalish origin character
Wait for us.
for clan, but they do greet you as you are one of the people for them.
And though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with
Like
all
that guy
our
right there.
magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's evil
Nice.
must
I mean,
be stopped,
not nice.
but we are in no position to uphold our obligations.
Who got all this bloodborne in my Dragon Age?
I'm truly sorry.
I mean, it happens, man. I'm not upset. So, yeah, they're werewolves. Can I help them?
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous.
Why in all these RPGs there's always a plague at some
The
point?
curse itself. And
It's
that
like Quest 101.
would be no trivial task to retrieve.
So I have to get the cure from the source of the curse itself. So you're talking about like the werewolf prime? Like the head werewolf? Like the alpha, right? Of the pack?
No, but it is the one who made these werewolves come to be. Within the Brecilian forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task
That seems like a really big if.
for us.
Go this way.
I sent some hunters
Shit,
into
you
the
can't.
forest a week ago, but they have not returned.
About a week ago.
I cannot risk any more of my clan.
Yeah. If you ask him about outside help, he goes, "Who am I gonna ask? The dwarves?" It's very much like that line, Lord of the Rings. Is who dudes the age of men who kill each other constantly over who's wearing a crown, or the dwarves who don't care about themselves except who only care about themselves and their stuff. Their mines and their gold. So you could maybe destroy the curse.
There is no guarantee that this will work, as I suspect. But it's the only hope we have left.
Okay. You haven't considered getting outside help?
From whom? The Children of the Stone? The Shemlin? Do you truly think they have time to spare for us?
I forgot they used the word Shemlin. Shemlin is the Elvish word that means quickening or quick child. It essentially means because in their background, most elves were able to live almost forever and still do for a pretty long time, more than humans. Not very long, though. It's been shortened due to crossbreeding and sectioning off of regions and land and stuff like that don't give them the space to grow. They call them the quick children because they live very short, impulsive lives, and they don't have the wisdom of centuries and their forebearers, and they're very spread out, and they're very fast-moving. So yeah, Shemlin is humans. It's a very derogatory word. I will find it.
I must warn you that more than werewolves lurk in the Brecilian forest.
Oh, I know.
It has a history full of carnage and murder, you see.
I don't know why
Where
you guys
there
come
is
here
so
for some
much death,
vacay.
the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin, allowing spirits to possess things, living or dead. But if you can
That's
indeed
fun.
help, then I wish you luck.
Wish me luck. Okay, I do have some questions.
Make them quick, if you please. I have much to do here. My apprentice Lanaya or Sayrel, the clan's storyteller, could provide you with answers just as easily.
How do I find the thing?
Watch for the white wolves. They are his eyes and ears in the forest.
Okay, what about this curse? What's it about?
There is not much to say. It stemmed originally from Witherfang, but now any werewolf may infect someone with it.
So all the werewolves come from Witherfang.
No. The ones from this forest, however, do.
Okay. Will I get infected?
It is possible, but not guaranteed. The only way to protect against the curse is not to be bitten.
That's basically to say, in gameplay, you won't be infected, don't worry. Which would have been a nice mechanic. But whatever. How do you know if you've been infected?
You will know within a matter of days. You will begin to sweat and vomit, and most tellingly,
Ew.
your temper will become wild and uncontrollable.
Oh.
If that happens to you, you should seek out Witherfang even more swiftly. Your mission at that point will be rather personal.
Okay, let's see. So, how did the curse start exactly?
That is a long tale I do not have time to tell. Ask Sayrel about it if you wish.
Let's see. Alright, something else then.
Go on then. I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
Obviously, if you play as a human character or a dwarven character, a not elfy character, they are very suspicious of you. Not suspicious, but like, you really have to earn being here. Stop doing spells. You really have to earn being here to a certain extent. So these are a bunch of codex entries. If you started in the dwarf origin, obviously a lot of these are going to be like, you get these right off the bat. That's their tattoos, which are a coming of age sign. Each ascribed to a different god that they worship to show like, oh yeah, I like this god, it's my favorite. Also, I'm an adult. Also, this is for the dog. In case there's combat here, you can have the dog mark the territory to get the passive bonus. That person's just running around. Yeah, lots of little things here. Lots of things we can do. Give me that, give me that, give me that. Zevaran. A love letter.
It is done.
It is done, you're
How do
right.
they move these
A wooden crate.
things through
What'd
the
you say?
forest? Do the trees just get out of their way, or what?
Oh, he's referring to their Aravels. They're not very well defined here, but these are basically their wagons that they take. This is obviously a kind of like low budget version they made in the first games. They're called Aravels. And they use them to get around and to migrate. Yeah, they're basically tents on wagons. So you see kind of like the design here was what they're going for. It's kind of interesting though. And they have a herd of animals that can help pull stuff. And they're not really beasts of labor. They're just kind of there because they're neat. We'll learn more about all of them in a second. I actually need to have a little bathroom break. I will be right back.
A few moments later.
I'm back. Excusez-moi. Jamais-vous? Parlez-vous français? Alright. I guess this is going to be a chapter we really just talk to everyone. So let's talk to Lanaya. She doesn't have a quest marker, but it'd be good to help her.
Yes? What is it you need?
Wait, no, what?
Any news?
No, go away.
Make
No,
them
no,
quick,
I didn't have...
please.
Shut
I
up.
must return to care.
No, I was talking to you.
Underanitation, Grey Warden. My name
So
is
this is
Lily.
Ashley Williams
I am
from,
Zapian's first, what you might
Mass
call
Effect.
an apprentice, perhaps. I've been studying under the Keeper all my life. I
It feels a little loud.
a bit curious of the
Sounds a bit
outside
loud.
world. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two?
Sure, I got time for questions. Oh, I do have, yes. Go ahead.
I hear the human cities are very large. Thousands upon thousands of souls, all packed together in their houses. Is that true?
Yeah, some are pretty big.
How very loud that must be with everyone talking all at once. I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought.
Yeah, I don't know much about that. You can be really judged about it. You get used to it. It's hard for you. Just try it. It's not easy. And you're better. I wouldn't know anything about that. It's not easy.
What about you? What was life like amongst the humans?
It was alright. It's not easy. It's not terrible. I don't want to talk about it. It wasn't that bad. I was more in a magic place.
Yes, I suppose that would be a better life than many elves have. You are fortunate. It is said that one day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have one more question, though I'm not sure you can answer it. Do the humans ever regret what they did to us?
let's talk really quickly about a couple things. A lot of things, actually. If you play, depending on your specific background, essentially you get to have an ending that reflects your background if you choose. You don't have to. You can choose something that everybody can do together, you know, right? Like, it's like there's one ending you get where it's like, hey, death. Everybody can die. There's the ending where you can get, like, you know, some land and money and stuff like that. And there's the origin specific ones. The Dalish one specifically is you get a portion of land ceded to the Dalish in Ferelden that they can just use. Somewhere in the Gakari Wilds, I think. And it's, unfortunately, a lot of the extra stuff they give these characters in Dragon Age Origins gets kind of retconned into being downplayed just because they're so far-reaching in a lot of their consequences. They can't do much with it in terms of story progression, or they chose not to in terms of porting over decisions. So that's it. That's kind of what that is right there. And this question is very difficult to answer because I don't think I've ever met a human that focused on the the human-elf conflict as much as the Dalish do. The city elves kind of don't care because she's talking about something very specific. She's speaking about the overtaking and forcing out of land of the elven people from their land. Essentially, the humans did what a lot of European countries did when they colonized a lot of places. Essentially, slavery is not as legal in this time period of Thedas, but it still happens in certain parts of the world, kind of like us. So this question, some humans, yes, are sympathetic to the elvish plight, but most of them, yeah, they don't pay attention to it. That's really it. It's just history to them, and that's the sad part. I want to say not all humans are the same, but like, it's just history, honestly. Most of them, yeah, it's just history. In Thedas, absolutely. Most of them don't care. Most of your party members don't care. Zevran doesn't care. He's an elf. He's an assassin first and an elf second. Leniana is sympathetic. Leniana is actually probably the most sympathetic to the point where she'll do something about it. But honestly, she's, as we had an earlier conversation with her, she's kind of ignorant in that benign, like, privileged way where she doesn't understand how much she doesn't understand of the elven plight. Ogren doesn't care. Alistair is sympathetic but doesn't do anything unless he's in a position to. Wynn cares but is more focused with the circle and their problems, honestly. Morgan doesn't care. Morgan is of the opinion that, like, you want to fix something, fix it yourself. Just do it. Don't care. Just, that's it. I don't care if you're 2 weeks to do it yourself, which is sad. Who else is in the party? Obviously Dog cares a lot, but he's a dog. Shale doesn't care. Sten doesn't care. You have to remember, Sten is a Canary. He'll just conquer everybody. But yeah, they don't care. It's just history to the humans.
How quickly they forget. A poet once wrote of them, before the fall of the Dales. Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons, they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry to you.
No, I like that. I actually like this character a lot, actually.
Perhaps you have some
I forgot how much I like Lanaya. Tell me about yourself,
I'm
Lanaya.
hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans.
So yes, you can migrate back to the Dalish if you're not Dalish born. They're very welcoming. Well, a little stubborn.
About the world I came from.
So how did you get here if you were so young?
My parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes. One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years.
That sucks.
It was. Though long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more.
So, more specifically too, I should say, Lanaya is magical. Obviously the staff on her back gives it away, but she gets to be apprenticed to the Keeper, and potentially takes on their role at some point. Sometimes there's more than one magical person in the clan, so they kind of have to compete, see who's the best, and the other one gets moved to the different clan. there's been some retconning about characters that have been like abandoned just wholesale, like left in the forest to die. And there's been some counter writing on that that's like, oh, that wasn't accurate. That was a one-off experience. That's not how most elves do it or most Dalish do it. There's a lot of back and forth about it in the writer room about it. So, yeah, they rescued you?
The bandits killed a scout when the clan passed near their camp. When the clan discovered him, Zathrian came looking for his killers. He followed their tracks for almost a month, and when he finally caught up to us, he fell on the bandits like a terror. No one could stop him. I sat there, and I watched him attack them in a blur, and I reveled in every blow. When he saw me,
of course you did. You were a slave.
in his eyes,
I just realized why I like this character.
he took me back to the clan.
Well, one is because she's very calm,
Ever
cool,
since.
collected, very matter of fact, very sympathetic, very cool looking and designed too. Oh, I like her migration story for like, yeah, I was kind of nowhere and got my way here and adapted the culture to how I feel, and I'm the most level-headed person here. Because I came from an outsider and I became an insider, but I still have my outsider perspective. But more to the point, why I actually like her is because Lanaya, not only does she have Ashley's voice actor from Mass Effect, she's also just Shepard's colonial background. The background where they're kidnapped by slavers and then saved by the Alliance and then join the Alliance. That's just this character. I just realized that. That's so interesting. Probably different writers had a somewhat similar idea. I doubt it was intentional. You don't have any family you could have gone back to?
It's possible I might have had some, maybe many. Zathrian offered to take me back, but I had no idea where I was from, and I wanted to stay with the man who rescued me. The clan is my family. Any others out there? It's best they believe that little girl died with her parents. For now, the clan is all I need. My old world could not have offered me all this, and the knowledge of a keeper as well. Perhaps
Yeah, honestly.
one day, when I am keeper, I might inquire.
You're great. I wish you were a party member.
I'm not sure what lies down that road except pain, however.
That's awesome. You become a keeper when the old one just kicks the bucket.
I am not a keeper. I am Zathrian's first. Though because I was not born into the clan, becoming his first was very
Yes.
difficult. We Dalish have old traditions. The clans come from the ranks of the nobility that once ruled the Dales, you see.
That's kind of
The keepers of those old clans have the strongest and purest blood that reaches back to the days of Arlathan. I had to compete against the other candidates for first, to be better than them in everything, simply because I was not of the old blood.
Yeah. You must be really proud of yourself, though.
I am. The ceremony where Zathrian anointed me as his first was the proudest day of my life. The clan has placed great trust in me. One day, I will lead them and be the one who secures our future.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to ask what this does in a second. But one thing, too, very important that I only touched upon a little, is that the Dalish don't actually know a whole lot about their history. Because they're let's call it a genocide. Because the difficulties they had with the humans were so enormous, they've lost much of their history, their civilization, their original language. They speak mostly English, but you notice there's some phrases thrown in that are, and the dwarves also just forgot. This is very much a setting of civilizations that have gone down in life rather than gone up in glory, and it shows very much so. So they don't know a lot about their history, and in fact, there are things, as we will explore the series, that they get wrong. So, like, the idea that, like, these clans are secured from the most noble and the purest of blood, and I'm just kind of like, I'm pulling my collar going like, actually, but that's actually a good plot twist I'm going to save for later, because it's more an Inquisition, more of a lore twist, but what does a keeper do while I got you?
A keeper is, first and foremost, the leader of the clan. He decides where we go and when we shall move. He's also responsible for knowing the clan's ancient lore and passing it on to the others in the clan. Without a keeper, the clan's knowledge is lost forever, so the clan protects him like no other. As you wish.
Hey guys, it's Gabe from the future here. Unfortunately, Gabe had to call during the stream, so I'm going to be just putting in voiceover work, talking about stuff as he talks about them. So, yeah, now you got me. And this is, you know, it screams a little far away, so it's hard for me to read exactly what they're talking about. Oh, this is some guy talking about how he hopes nobody in the village has been a big, huge jerk.
That is very
but I
generous
understood.
of
It
you.
was cool. Don't worry about it.
Most
I hope I'm
recently,
not
your
skipping all this
unkind
dialogue
is
too
a
early
rule.
because I was
That is not the case.
going off what I could
Especially
see on
not
the
from a
screen while
great
also
lord.
taking a phone call.
But we have
So,
lost much.
my mistake if I
And
do
it is
that.
easy to forget simple
Let's
niceties
take a
at
look
such
here.
a time.
Yeah, this guy has
I
a quest for
understand
us.
you will search for the wolf.
Yeah,
and
this
look
is
for the
a
wolf.
small part of the mechanic
I would
of
join
this
you, but
area
Zathriel
where there's a not a trust
Forbidden.
meter in the or like that's not like a faction reputation
We are
system,
banned from
but
entering
it's
the
more
forest
like
now.
this group
I
has
have
something along the lines of
more
depending on
cause than
how
most,
for how
but I
far
will not
removed you are
disobey
from their
my keeper.
culture, you'll have a situation in which. Excuse me. A situation in which
Suppose there's no
essentially
harm in telling a
what'll be
fellow
happening
elf, but
is
surely you have greater concerns than any
they'll
problem of
treat you
mine,
differently.
no?
It's something I see a lot in certain video games where it's like
Well, perhaps you
you'll
could
have
help
an
me.
opportunity
I
to
would
get to know
certainly
people
appreciate anything you
or
would do.
to have people trust
My
you.
wife
And
denied
sometimes it doesn't
that I
actually lead to any
both fought the
consequences in the
werewolves in the
storyline.
ambush.
But what it'll do
She
is
was
it'll give you the
injured so
illusion of
bravely,
choice.
the curse spread
The
rapidly.
Telltale company was always
Zathriel
really good
fought
at
hard
that.
to
They're
ease
always
your
good
pain,
at
but
the
there was
illusion of
little he
choice
could
in
do.
these video games that they
And
always
though he
presented
says
to
that
you.
Delilah is dead, he
So
will
it
not
created
let
a
me see
type
her.
of situation where
For
even if
Bob,
nothing really happened
I am
or the
beginning
characters
to
never did
believe
anything different,
became
in some cases
a
they did.
And
The
that
game
being
will tell
kept
you
from
that
me
you're
so I
doing
do not
having
go
an
chasing
impact.
after
And
her.
that kind of feedback is
If I
important
could
to the
just
player with agency.
know if
So here we're
Delilah is
helping this guy
alive, or
find
what
his
happened
wife
to her.
because
I
she
could
got
be at
bit
peace.
or something happened to her during the attack from the werewolves. So we're basically just exploring
It would be
options
very
here about
rude
what
to
we can
accuse
do
the
to
keeper
help.
of lying.
And
I know he means
when I said before, how
Just
far
need to
removed you
know.
are from the storyline dictates
or another.
like what are your
If you were in the
rewards
forest,
essentially.
perhaps you might
It just means
come
that
across her.
basically what'll
Alive
happen
or
is
dead.
if you're a Dalish elf, everyone
Any
loves you
moves
here,
would be better than
right?
none.
We'll come to see a little bit
And
of
in
that
return,
later.
I
If
would
you're a
be
city
happy to
elf,
give
if you're a
you an
mage
amulet
elf,
made by a
they're
craftsman.
like you're one of
May
us, but
venture
you
quite
ain't
far
one of
away.
us. Basically, is what they're trying to get at. Dwarves, they don't really care about all that much, but you're an outsider still. Human, they hate your guts pretty much. Human mage, they don't care about. So realistically,
Since we
there's
seem
not
to
much
be
to go
heading
on
into
there.
the forest anyhow,
But yeah, this is one of the. This is also one of those quests in the games or moments in the game
You are
where
most
if we
kind.
just didn't actually help this guy at all, he probably would have been better
Come
off.
across my
I don't want
wife,
to spoil too much
return
later,
and tell me.
but like it's the type of thing where like if Zathriel says we should get a cure, then the smart thing here to do is to actually like wait for the cure, not go looking for someone that like we may have to find in a compromising position or may have to decide their fate over. Oh, this is the
I
guard
trust there
woman
are no
that
hard
the
feelings about
elven
my
guard that
questioning
we
of
met
you
on the
when
way
you
into
arrived.
camp.
We Dalish
She wasn't
don't
very
take
mean to us,
ourselves
but we
trouble
can
at all
you can
times.
see basically we're playing it. We can play it up exactly how we want to, as far as like oh we could be mean, we could be nice, we could be understanding, we could be intolerant. There's a whole lot to play off of here compared to some
Had
other
we known a
sections
Grey
because
Warden was
as you might
coming,
already can
we
tell,
might have arranged a
as you might
different
already can
section.
tell, as you might already
But
be
I
able
wish
to
you good
tell,
fortune with your
the
task.
elves are kind of the
Dareth
minority group
Shiral.
of the Dragon Age setting, so they're the people that get kicked while they're down. And let's see where Gabe's going now.
And
He's
it's
running
hard.
around, he's killing time, he's getting codex entries. Let's see, he's running through the woods, frolicking really, is what he's doing. Just collecting stuff, killing time for no reason. Ah, that Gabe, always killing time. Let's see. At some point he'll talk to someone. He'll look in that chest about probably like 5 times this episode, so don't forget that he's going to do that over and over again because he keeps forgetting what's in it. That's my attempt to pick up a pair of gloves that I think are a gift item for Zevran. They're not. You'll see that in the next episode, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, my friend.
Yeah, and Zevran, you open that here. Here we are. It's just a bow. I'm probably not going to take it, though.
All complete.
I knew it. I recorded this like a week ago, so it's like I'm actually not working off memory. I'm working off like what would Gabe do if I was here, and it's like I am doing it. You know, it's always one of those funny moments. Ah, Fen Harel. That's a good codex entry that I don't bother to read this episode, but it is interesting to go into at a later point for sure. Am I just gonna keep running around in circles? Huh? I think I am for a little while. I think this is the part of the Let's Play, unfortunately, where I'm just confused. And I'm like,
Please
I don't know
leave
what to
that
do. I
be.
haven't decided whether or
If
not
you
I'm going to
have need of
narrate over this or
equipment,
not.
I am sure Master Verathor
And we
can
can't go
help
inside
you.
this chest because it's blocked off. I think we can go inside it later. I think once we complete this faction quest, we can
What
go
is the
inside it. I think that's the deal there. I think I'm cutting off people, unfortunately, which is a damn shame. That's for the dogs. We can mark as territory. Man, I'm really doing nothing. Oh, here we go. I think I've decided to talk to people finally. There we go.
What are you doing?
Oh,
You
okay.
complete-
Let's see. I'm looking at
Did
the
you leave
word
it out in the
specifically
rain?
here in one of the sections. This
No,
is one of the
Master
smiths here.
Verathorn,
They're smithing it up.
think
They're
I
doing
just
whatever. He's got
used
nice ears.
too
They
much
all got
heat.
nice ears.
You're not
I mean, Jack
smelting
Daxter.
ore like
Here we go.
a
The
Genlin.
phrase
This is
Dergenlin
living
right
wood.
there refers.
It
It's the
requires
elven
patience
word
and delicate
for
hands,
dwarf.
not more heat.
I wanted to say that during the
My
video, but
actions
basically
bring
saying
me
you're
sorrow,
heating the wood too
Master
much. What are you, a dwarf?
And so they should.
Which I guess is a
Truly, the art will
microaggression.
be lost to us
Is it?
forever at
I
this
mean,
rate.
yeah, I guess it is.
Throw away your dead
Yeah.
wood and start a
The
new
Dalish
one.
elves are
Stick
really
to our
proud.
text.
They're really
No.
self-centered in that type of way. Look at
Please
that guy,
forgive my
hammer
distress.
axe. What is he doing? He's like wrenching
Is
it.
there
All
something
right,
that you
whatever.
need?
He's done now. Yeah, we're just gonna go into what he makes here. They make elven stuff. It's pretty exciting. They got staves, they got tables, they got knives, they got staples. Staples? Staples, but elves. Are my feet clipping into the floor? They look like they're clipping into the floor is what's happening.
Is as hard as steel, but far lighter.
Yeah. And anyways, he's asking. This is the part of the story where he's gonna ask us to do a quest for the iron bark material. It's your standard, like, hey, I need this special material to make a thing, kind of like Haren's quest to get the dragon scales. More or less, basically what that is. So. Yeah, and we're gonna ask him. What you gonna give us for it? Except we probably don't, because Gabe's a nice guy, so he's just gonna do it regardless.
It is blue and very distinctive. You can only harvest the bark which has fallen off the tree.
Yeah, you gotta harvest in a special place.
If you find some, bring it to me.
Because it's a very special piece of wood. You don't wanna just use any old plain wood to grow the iron bark.
Blades from the iron bark, or
perhaps a breastplate. Reminds me of Game of Thrones. There's a spin-off from Telltale Games that goes in detail about what's it called?
That would please me.
Is it iron bark? It's not called iron bark. Ironwood. Basically, you play as a miner house that appears in the books, and you love your trees, your dumb special trees that are really good and make really good stuff. Anyways, here we are on the menu. It's very exciting, I know. I think I picked up a couple skill items here. Let's see here. Yeah, I picked up a couple skill items here, I think 1 or 2. So that way I could bump myself up to having a higher dex for a bow. And boy, when you see me get the bow and equip it, will you be disappointed? Little spoilers for that. Again, I'm ahead in time, so the disappointment of me realizing that, I'll just say it right now, me realizing that I can't actually be a proper archer because there's one basic skill in Dragon Age Origins that's a skill, not a passive for anybody holding a bow, is that the one of the first passive skills you get as an archer is you can fire your bow without being interrupted if you get hit physically by an attack. Otherwise, it interrupts your animation. So without access to the rogue tree, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that, and we're always going to be a really crappy bowman, unless we have some type of spell or item that reduces hostility. And there are items like that in the game. I think we get one in this episode or the next episode, actually, to be honest. But unfortunately, like, those aren't really like optimal for my, like, unless I'm going for like a really, really like bow only, like I'm the best bow person, archery rules type of class. Like, it's just not going to be the most optimal thing. Not that I'm doing the most optimal thing, let's be honest. But look at me go. Look at me. I'm having a fun time. So yeah, that was kind of a waste of time. At least I didn't waste any spells on it. And what am I doing now? We're going through the inventory. Let's see. Oh, I'm examining the stat requirement. And I'm like, oh, I'm only 1 level away from having a high enough dex to wield the bow. Which, by the way, once I get my dex up to that point, I just totally forget about it. I just stop leveling dex. I want you to know that. I might look at that box 1 or 2 more times, so get prepared for that thrilling adventure. Let's see, what does Gabe do next? Gabe next, I think he's going to sit down at the... Yeah, he's going to sit down here to hear the storytellers. Sorrel. He is the... I think Haren? Haren, yeah, he's the Haren. He's the storyteller of the group. He's not the keeper, he's not the leader, he's just the guy who's like, I'm your local uncle.
Join us by the fire.
Yes, and he's now Alistair gets to sit on the floor like a baby. You know, and I'm gonna let some of this. I'm gonna let some of this next section go by. You know what? No. I was gonna say I'll let the section go by for a second, but I just remember this is important.
I suspect your efforts may be in vain.
Let's see.
An entire group
he's talking about his hunters. They tried their best,
to do as you intend,
and they're not back yet. And if I'm lucky, maybe I can find them. You know, I'd like to find them.
And you are very brave to adventure.
And he's just like, oh, you're so brave.
Even knowing the danger
you're so brave. You can find out. And then we teleported over there for some reason. That was weird. That was very weird, honestly. I don't understand why that happened. Anyways, I'm trying to help you, and you're all being, like, kind of insufferable. Well, not all of you, but, like, a lot of you are. Like, you specifically. Like, you as a person are being terrible. Sorrel. Maybe.
Nothing will help us now. Least of all, the meddling of
meddling of outsider. If you're a Dalish, then they're like, oh, we're so hyped to have one of our people help us out. That's great.
Simply because of the hand that offered it?
And he's just like, oh, damn these kids. They told me what's what. Now I gotta sit down and rap with you, says Sorrel.
Forgive me, Grey Warden.
Anyways, you're forgiven. I don't care.
Difficult to forget
did I say it? I think I said this part already during the story. But yeah, Shemlin is the word for quick children. It's for humans that cause them to age rapidly, or at least faster, because elves are supposed to have longer lives. I think I said that already. I'm pretty sure in this episode. If not, there it is. Yeah, we're gonna sit down for a little. We're gonna spin a tale. Spin a tale. Spin it.
Now,
Spin it. I
what
like that
say
Alistair
we
has to be the
tell
one to sit
story
down
of
on the
fall
floor.
of the Dales? Which of your
Alright,
children
let's see
knows
here.
that
They're telling the story of the fall of the Dales, which is the losing of the elves' second homeland. Their first city was Arlathan.
don't be frightened of
Arlathan,
the
however you want to
outsiders.
pronounce it. The Dales were the second opportunity the elves had, and is more, somewhat better recorded in history.
Yes.
Yes.
Long ago,
So
our people were slaves
he's
to an
telling the
empire
story.
the Shemlin had built on the darkest magic. They took away our history and our language and left us nothing. And then that empire fell, and we were freed.
Because Andraste came with her army, and Shartan joined.
Yeah, we got a little bit of taste of Shartan and Andraste's story when we did the Urn of Sacred Ashes. This is a little bit following up on that to an extent.
Imperium. Our ancestor Shartan fought at her side, and when the rebellion came to an end, we were given a new homeland in the west.
Right, that's what. So Shartan helping Andraste what gave them the homeland in the Dales, because before that they were still nomadic and just chilling from place to place like they are now.
We worshipped the creators and made the Dales our home. Perhaps you know what happened next, stranger. Do you know what happened to the Dales?
Yeah, you can kind of be like spiteful about it.
Indeed.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe, yes, it was the humans that invaded the Dales. This is part of what I mentioned before, where the Dalish actually, despite trying so hard to get their history right, they get a lot of it wrong. And I think there's not, one of the most contested points of history in the Theta setting, in the Dragon Age setting, as it were, is the fall of the Dales. And I'm going to just say it now, because it's not a really big plot moment, it's just like a little lore detail. As you find out, like, the Dalish aren't as right as they think they are. It was a lot of like pushing and prodding from both sides. Like he's all like, "Oh, I bet the humans said that we totally started it." But I'm, and I'm sure we did a little. But come on, it's the humans. Come on, right? But it's like, and that's not. I'm not trying to make I'm not trying to make a comment about real life allegories to this, or excuse me. Or modern day examples or analogies or metaphors to real people, but like in this setting specifically, it's like the Dalish have a stick so far up their butt they cannot imagine a world where they weren't wronged, and that's a lot of problem with the Dalish community. It's a lot of problem with a lot of Dragon Age communities actually, not real life, the games, like the culture of peoples, is they're so insular constantly. They never look outside in, right? It's some of my favorite characters that are willing to take their perspective and say, well, what do I look like from the outside, right? That's why characters like Stan can be really frustrating, because he never looks at himself like you look at him, even if how you look at him might be disrespectful in his culture's eyes. Like the amount of insight he could gain by understanding how we view him is valuable, right? Alistair is self-aware enough to know his failings and his faults and his mistakes and how he can do better, but he's also not confident enough in himself. Morgan, right, can analyze what she looks like to people, what she presents herself to people, right? And I said it before, but the mages, the Dalish, the dwarves, even the Canarias will come to understand they're so insular. They refuse to budge on their ways of thinking, that they just, all they do is just spin in circles. They go, and they go, and they expect something to change. They expect something to be different. Right? And it's just, I think that's the number one problem, is like this medieval setting is so rooted in its stubbornness and its tradition that they refuse to see anything different. Something to think about. Oh, he's talking now about the forest and why it's so messed up. So we haven't touched about this subject a lot actually, but it's the manner in which the veil exists and works and functions. And the veil, in terms of like, it separates our world from the Fade, the real world from the metaphysical world of the Fade, where magic rules. This forest and many other places, because atrocities and bad things happen there, it makes it more desirable for demons to go where life is chaotic and dead and blood and all that. And so it tears at the space between the barrier between the worlds of magic and reality, of the Fade and reality. And so places where tragedies happen are more vulnerable to spirits and demonic possessions and so on. So you can imagine like the Circle Tower, for example, is now even more at risk of demonic possession because there were so many atrocities just committed there. It's like, and then we get to a setting in Dragon Age 2 that is this times 1,000. So it's an interesting idea. It's a very interesting idea to have a setting that just can get progressively worse over time if more things happen to it. Cascading failure, as it were, kind of like an XCOM, if anyone's familiar with the term of like one failure empowers the next failure and the next one and so on. What are we talking about now? Let's see. Oh, they're talking about the werewolf. So, spirits in the forest is all manner of magical creatures and crazy stuff in the forest, as we'll come to see in the next episode. This episode is very much just the Brecilian forest, let's be honest. We're just, the the camp. We're just getting to know everyone, see how they live. They're very down to earth, very nomadic, very much give off those indigenous vibes. Yeah. Let's see. There's more questions about the forest itself and the werewolves. I don't think I end up asking these questions. I think I just want to continue with the story at this point. Let's see what I do. Hold on. Let's see what I do.
Who can say what value the Imperium placed on
no,
this
no.
land?
Yeah.
And how many elves died
I kept going. Never mind.
in slavery?
Wrong again, Gabe.
Even the
Beat you again.
barbarians who came to
let's
overthrow
see.
the Imperium fought and died on this soil.
Yeah, many battles are fought and died here. I think this is where I peace out now. It has to be where I peace out.
No
Peace
one
out.
knows.
I hate you. Like, damn you,
When
me.
the Shemlin lived in these parts,
Fighting myself now.
spread anew to a few of them.
Anyways,
Passing
he's basically explaining
They
that how
would
many
run off
werewolves
into
are
the
there.
forest,
Well,
never to
if
be
werewolves
seen
spread
again.
by bite, depends on how many
Eventually,
human hunters have been this
all the
way. And then
Shemlin
obviously
left.
our own people that got
One
caught out
assumes
before
the
the order came
werewolves
to stay in
survived
here.
by passing
So,
their curse to their
we don't
offspring.
assume that they, I don't know if
They've
they
had
can
no new blood
reproduce,
until
right?
now.
But now they're grabbing new people, so.
It is said that one or two have turned already,
let's
though
just
the
see.
keeper denies it.
Oh, they said,
As
oh,
to
2 of
the
our
rest,
people have become
either
werewolves.
die
This is a
or
rumor,
turn.
but the keeper says no, that's not
Unless
true.
They are
So, we
killed
don't know.
out of mercy. I would rather die than become
Yeah.
a ravening, soulless beast.
He's like, better to kill them. Better to kill them,
One last
says
warning.
Sorrel.
The forest is like a thing alive. It changes as it wills.
Oh, he's just like, oh, the
Paths
forest is
finding
alive, be careful.
and opening up new ones.
Be careful.
Too many have become lost within, unable to find their way out. Were I you, I would endeavor
I'm
not
not
to
gonna make
make
the forest my
forest
enemy. I would
my
never do
enemy.
such a thing. I think I go back to talk to him though for like companion quest stuff. Let's see, because he still has a marker over his head. I'm gonna run around for a second. Yep, look at me go. Yeah, and I'm gonna talk to him again. All right, I'm back. I skipped through it. Fire, Alistair, me sitting down.
Is
Let's
there
go. Come on,
something
come on,
you
come on, come on. Oh yeah, we're gonna find out about Wynn's apprentice named Anarin.
I appreciate you trying to find him, but what are the chances?
Anarin the healer?
You know Anarin?
Oh no, you know Anarin?
No,
Oh, that dude's the coolest.
can't be
This
he.
part of the story never made a lot of sense for me. We'll
is
come
a
to see it in the
common
next
elven
part.
name.
Like, obviously, he's like,
No,
oh,
I
why did
know
Wynn
of
tell us the
only
whole
one
backstory
Anarin.
about Anarin? It's like,
Ah.
oh, guess what? Because Anarin's still alive, obviously. The
Anarin
Templars never
says
actually
that
found
he was
him.
from the
They
human
just
cities.
were total
We're old
jerks and
friends
never
then.
told Wynn what happened. They were really mean about that, and they let her suffer with the knowledge that she got someone killed. So, Wynn knows him. It is the same guy. We're gonna find out more
If you
about him
seek
just now.
Anarin, you must venture into the forest. He prefers to be amidst the trees and the animals.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
both
very
so
underwhelming. Like, if you're a mage, this is the good content because it gets Wynn to talk to you more about the circle and your role in it. We'll come to see that in the next part. We'll probably talk more about it. Maybe later. Probably later. But,
Dareth Shirral.
it gets to a point where, unfortunately, like, it's like, oh, I did so much wrong, says Wynn. I was flawed, and I've learned my lesson. And I drove away the student that I wanted to help the most. And it's like, oh, yeah. And then it's just like, oh, no, it was cool, Wynn. You were great. I mean, I forgave you. And it's like, that's boring. Oh, this is great. Hold on, wait. You gotta see this. You gotta see what this crazy guy Gabe does in the past. Hold on. This is Cameron.
Apprentice.
Yeah. Talk to Cameron.
Oh, I wish I could become
Yeah,
a
he's
real
great.
hunter.
This guy's awesome. Yeah, he's having problems getting this girl because you're not an adult until in your job you've hunted something. You gotta prove yourself to society. Look, he doesn't have these tattoos. Those are coming of age tattoos. And I'm like, I'll talk to her. You know, I'm a good guy. I'm friendly. I have a 4 check in persuasion and 22 cunning. That's enough for most passes in this game. I bet I can help this girl figure out what her problem is. I can talk this out. You know, don't worry.
I wanted to hunt in the forest.
Oh wait,
but
sorry. He didn't get to that point where he told. I was just talking. Wait, I overtalked him. Go. Sorry, I'll let you continue.
The
Cameron.
real
Go ahead,
problem
please.
is
Sorry.
gaming. She's my heart's desire.
Girl problems.
I have asked for her hand, but she cruelly refuses it. She will not bond with an apprentice, she says, and calls me a child. I am no child. If I was a hunter, I could prove it, but I cannot hunt, and Gaina will never bond with me. I feel so helpless. I shouldn't have brought it up. Just leave me to my misery.
Anyways, Cameron's helpless. He doesn't know what to do. He's suffering. He's sad.
Think
He's
I haven't thought
sad.
about
He's
this?
suffering.
There's nothing I can do.
Nothing he can do. He's crawling in the skin, and his wounds they will not heal. Heal? Whatever. Anyways, I got ahead of myself, but I said I'll talk to Gaina.
Situation hasn't
Right?
changed.
Let's see You know, I'm very persuasive, but like I said, plus I got 4 skill checks in persuasion and 22 cunning. And I think that's a lot to go on, and I think I can help Cameron with this situation. It can't hurt, you know? Whatever. Master on us. You'll notice that a lot of characters in this game, and then compared to the next game, they're gonna mispronounce words that the writers didn't know how to pronounce yet, or that they didn't tell the voice actors how to pronounce yet. But that aside, let's talk. Yeah, let's save. That's important, Gabe. It's important that we save right now. You'll understand why in a little bit. Let's just save. Okay. Anyway, Gaina. Oh my God, it's been forever. What has it been? 3 minutes since I ran past here, looking in the same chest. Cameron mentioned you.
What did he say?
He said that if he was he said if he was lucky, he would bed you soon.
He didn't. Cameron would never say such a thing.
Oop, lying. Oh, I can see. Oh, I can see why though. You're very beautiful. This is so scummy. This is so scummy.
You are too kind.
Kind? No, not at all. No. Cameron's not good enough for you.
I don't understand.
I mean, look, you come on. What about me? You know?
I mean, oh, that's quite flattering, but just the
no hesitation. Oh, it's so scummy that you can do that. And that lady just walked up on a bench for no reason.
I suppose there's no.
Oh God. Oh, there's nothing you get from doing this. You get nothing from doing it this way, other than just raw satisfaction. And by the way, as a girl, you can flip it. You can be the one to go to Cameron. And then, oh, by the way, Wynn loves this for some reason. I never understood why. I think it's a bug. I think it's a bug that Wynn likes it, and it's super confusing that Wynn likes it. She gets a massive approval bonus if you do that. And this is obviously very upsetting. But if you're a girl, you can also flip it and jump in bed with Cameron because, like, oh, what you need is experience. And then you can go to Gaina and be like, you can be like, oh, I totally slept with your maybe boyfriend. And then she's like, she gets so pissed at Cameron for doing that. And then his life is ruined. And like just like it is now, to be honest. His life is ruined. That's what just happened, is I ruined his life. I don't know why I did this. I'll be honest. But it's done. And I reload the save. I don't know what possessed me to do that. I think I wanted to show the bug of Wynn's approval, blasting by 7. But like, I think I also wanted to like spite my future self and be like, yeah, explain this, you moron. Explain the lore consistencies of this and why we did this. Anyways, we're gonna do it for real now, and we're gonna talk to Gaina and talk about their culture and whatever. And that's not as fun, but you know.
And Darren Atishan outsider. You spoke to him? What?
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna tell the truth now. It's really stupid. It's so
Perhaps
dumb.
the creators do not wish us to bond.
Oh, pass me. What a jerk. You know. But at the same time, what has Future done? What has Future Me done for me lately? You know.
What will become of
Think
our
about that.
family?
Think about in your life, what has your future self done for you? And then find small ways to slight them.
You are right.
Right? Because as present you will never suffer these well, that's not true. You'll always actually you're the only person in the room. So if you're having this conversation, you're crazy like me.
You have helped me put this into perspective.
Anyways, they have a whole thing about you're not an adult until you prove yourself. And then we said, who cares? If you really like each other, you gotta support each other. And then she doesn't care about the hunt. And that's that.
Gaina? What do you mean?
That's
Have you changed your mind?
So that's exciting.
I have. The outsider has helped me to see that I was wrong.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. The outsider, what about my hunt? I don't care about the hunt. I only care about all the love, and children, and happiness, and blah, 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 blah.
Thank you, Gaina. You've made me a happy man.
God.
I feel blessed by the gods.
There's a great quest in KOTOR 1 where it's very similar to this. Oh, look, they even gave you a nice cutscene. I mean, it's not that nice. But they give you a scene where you can Romeo and Juliet a couple. And man, you can make it go like so many ways. 2 ways specifically, good and bad. And the bad, ooh, the bad goes places.
Here, take this.
And again, I can't stress enough. There's no item box that shows the specific item that you got if it's new. There's no drop-down menu that goes, hey, look at this item, you just got it. So for all I know, he could have just given me an old boot. Useless old boot, and I'm saying, look at him, look at me, past me, he's spinning like an asshole.
There are places where those horns bring huge prices.
He's doing a victory lap right now, and he's picking up elf fruit. Just can't help himself. And Alistair said something, but it got cut off. I don't know how. But that's my life now. It's just running around in circles, talking over myself. God, this is a mistake. I'm drinking water because it's so sweaty because I always record anything with the air conditioner off. Death root. That's how I feel right now. That's how I feel right now. Anyways, go talk to the person with the deer. There you go. Finally. Jesus Christ. Anyways. Hey, who are you?
I beg your pardon, stranger.
I shouldn't talk over them.
So
They should be able to talk whatever they want. Go ahead, lady. Who are you? What's the holla?
They are the noble beasts that pull our Aravel. What humans call landships. They are our companions and our guides.
Anyways,
Exactly
they're your besties?
in fact.
You got your best horse friends that are deer?
Holla, but never with reins or a saddle.
What if one appears across the lake, but you're like, oh, it's my father, but then you realize it's your future self? I think it's very appropriate for this conversation. What if it was your future self? What would you do then? It was your future self conducting a Patronus. Right, and you love your dad so much that it's a stag like your father. Anyways, what's wrong with this deer?
She may have been bitten during the werewolf attack. I have tried speaking with her, but she is too agitated for me to understand.
Oh no, it's so sad. I like how they animated the ears flickering. That's a very nice touch.
It would still be lethal.
That's a very nice touch.
And it may prove contagious to the other Hala as well. I can find no wound on her, but...
Anyways, it's really sad, and maybe it's hurt, and she can't figure it out because it's panicked after the werewolf attack, and this is just nowhere as exciting as the love triangle I was just a part of, and I just inserted myself into 5 minutes earlier. So, if only there was another Hala deer thing that I could insert my. No, let's not use that. Let's not use the word insert anymore. Let's just say like, oh, what if we could just, this conversation isn't going anywhere good, so I'm just gonna stop, and you can watch me calm the deer, the Hala. There you go.
Yes.
I like its horns. It's got pretty horns.
That's it, love.
It's got very pretty horns.
Tell me what troubles you. Ah, I see. It is her life mate who is.
So you need a survival skill check of 2 survivals. Two pips in survival tree to do that. I don't know if you can have anybody else do it.
This will allow me to prevent the
I want to say maybe you can have a
entire
companion
herd.
do it. I don't recall quite exactly, if I'm being honest.
You have done my clan a great
But yeah, so I already got my 2 pips because I knew this quest was coming a mile away from the beginning of the game, and I always get at least 2 pips. Because survival is also just a good skill check to get. So we did that. We got the party with us. I think Gabe's gonna wrap up now. I think he's finished now. I think he's finished harassing the townspeople. Oh yeah, he's just about finished harassing the townspeople. So on the next episode, we're gonna go into the actual forest and look for Witherfang to get the still beating heart and save the elves, hopefully. Or maybe we'll learn more things about the elves and the werewolves. Who knows? That's up to anybody to decide. I hope you guys like this narrated version of what's happening. Again, I was on stream and Twitch, so I didn't want to stop. But I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, all the other episodes will be good. So see ya.